So we have Team Islands here, and let's just dive in to have a look at the saves. Let's start with the Royal Flushers here. It's Malians for Alfred here on the flank. Malians, not the first and most obvious pick for water maps, but all of their buildings except farms and houses, heavily at least farms, cost less wood, so it means you could drop a dock earlier and get your fishing ships up earlier, which is a nice eco boost for already from the Dark Age. In their pocket we have Nathaniel playing as the Vikings, probably the most popular pocket of all for Team Islands or Water's playstyle maps, because they have access to longboats, they have some nice discounts for their water production, and yeah, free wheelbarrow handcart, great eco advantages overall. Right hand side we have Dan MT playing as the Japanese here. Japanese also solid water save, could absolutely contest water easily. Their fishing ships have double the HP of generic fishing ships, so it's really tough, much tougher to take out Japanese fishing ships in the early game. Now let's have a look at the Norwegian Bastards team here. It's HJFE as the Vikings, but as flank here for the Norwegian Bastards. So we might or might not be seeing some awesome galley micro from HJFE here. In the pocket we have Italians for Tiger. Italians, great water civilization as well. Their fish move is amazing considering that their fishing ships and dock technologies cost less, so you will much more easily be able to sustain fishing economy with Italians, and of course with the dock technologies costing less you will be having an edge, keeping your production going while getting the important technologies for upgrades for your ships as well. You can basically get them earlier, right? Left side for Norwegian Bastards is Japanese for Kong. So as a Japanese, strong water save, great fishing ships with their double HP, and yeah, we'll probably be contesting water early on here. What's commonly seen on island or water style maps is dropping houses near the shoreline, because that gives you a little bit of vision on the shoreline, and it makes it easier to spot if your opponent goes for landing. You will be seeing some, let's say that Nathaniel in the orange is going for a landing here, then Kong will be seeing some orange spots here because of the house. He's dropping the dock and is going to take the shore fish right next to it once the dock completes here. So on maps like this you have one island each, so you will always have to be aware of landings. Now I can tell that in the previous game I've cast of the Royal Flushers, they did pretty heavy landing style play. They had their pocket Vikings for that game. It's not Vikings for this one, is it? Yeah, it's Vikings still. So they had the pocket basically dominating water and having the two flanks land on either side of the opponent's island, and then turning that into a more or less standard knights archers kind of meta play on land. So we might be seeing a repeat of that one now, and if done successfully it's really hard to stop. Then on the other hand we have three experienced water players here for the Norwegian Bastards. Kong's micro also on water is pretty awesome, so he is certainly going to be taking some good early battles here, and then with the Vikings production on the other side as well, we should be seeing some significant army mass on water from the whole Norwegian Bastards team here. You see the players using the scouts to bring in the boar. That's because you don't really need to worry about their scout dying to enemy army or enemy TC, so you could use it to move the boar instead. That saves some villager idle time running after the boar, and yeah, as long as you keep attention to your scout, you would be keeping your scout alive as well. So they're flaring a little bit on the map, that's just to indicate where they are placing the docks, and Tiger, all three players with a forward dock, that includes the pocket as well, so that already indicates that the Norwegian Bastards want to contest the water for the early game here. Meanwhile, for the other team, we see Nathaniel with the back dock here, whereas his two flanks actually has a back dock for Dan MT as well, so very like passive docking for most of the Royal Flushers team here. and the only one docking forward is the Mammalians. So either he's going for an early landing here, which is just the moment I said that he's producing a transport ship, so he's actually going for the... I guess he's going to drop men-at-arms or something here, and he's going to land on Kong's side, so let's see if Kong is paying attention to the landing here. So we're going to sneak around here. What's Alfred scouting intel though? He's... oh, this is risky. Yeah, I mean, of course they know that the opponent's island's on the different side, but he doesn't know if there's any land presence at all from Kong here. So let's see if Kong is able to spot this landing in time here, even as a sheep on the side there. So with any bad luck, Alfred might actually convert this one and give a heads up already before the ship lands. But Fuel H kicks in, and the landing happens. Nice positioning there from Alfred. He is hiding his presence, and he's dropping the range. So he's not going men-at-arms, he's already dropped the barracks on his mainland, and is going straight for the archer section. This could be really hurtful for Kong Forever, because Kong Forever, no land presence. He doesn't know anything about this one going up. And on the other side, there's NLT for the moment committing to water only. So 2 ranges for Alfred, both hid away from Kong here. So that's a fantastic sneaky landing on the edge here this early on. Could deal some serious early damage if he's patient enough to keep his army and units alive. But the fact that this ship got converted, that sends Kong to the alert here. Quick balls from Alfred, nice quick balls, saving the villagers, but Kong knows that something is up here. He is contesting a couple of the villagers here, but Alfred has a scout of his own. Here comes a tower from Kong. Nice reaction from Kong. Places the tower right on the archery ranges here, so unless Alfred is able to get some significant numbers up here early. Yeah, okay, he stops the tower from going up, so that's a good job from Alfred there. Still delays his army push a little bit, and Kong with preemptive buildings here, using the barracks and the house as kind of a wall here, and of course is forced into land defense here. Meanwhile, some galley fighting on the right hand side here, soon to become. It's HJFE going for Dan and T's side here. Dan and T with 4 military though, HJFE with 4 as well, but kind of doing scouting here at the moment. Kong seems to be holding his own nicely for now. His tower goes up finally, and that's going to, at the very least, fire away at the ranges here once every time the archers are being replenished. They may risk taking some hits here. Alfred dodges the arrow fire nicely here from the tower though, and saves his forward villager. He's chasing some of Kong's villagers here as well. Kong might be in a position to... might be losing some villagers now. He lost 1, so that's 32 for him. HJFE has ceased villager production here on fishing ships motion. He's exclusively committing to army on water now. He is trying to match the numbers of Dan and T here. Might or might not really lose some fishing ships over here now. Kong is also... is actually not contesting water at the moment. He knows that there's land aggression going on from his flank, so he doesn't really need to worry about being hit on water. So his fishing ships are doing great work from him here. Archery range has been dropped by Kong. Hid a little bit away here, some skirmishers coming out. And Tiger is providing scouts as well, so Tiger with some land presence to help out, and some walls to make sure he doesn't get hit by Alfred's forward here, but the walls aren't complete, so Alfred moves on to deal damage to Tiger now, potentially. So Alfred seems content with the damage it's done to Kong Forever already. Kong Forever is at 40 villagers though, that's probably a lot of fishing ships in the mix here. But Tiger succeeds in the wall of here, but has deleted, or maybe it was Alfred breaking through here. Alfred with fletching, so he should be able to kill off these scouts here. Does take a choke point here. But let's have a look at the ship's counts here. HFE with 13 is a significant military lead on water. It's only 7 for Dan and T. And Nathaniel fleeing away from Tiger's fire ships here. That's gone all the way around. Probably suspecting a backdock since there's nothing scouted in the forward here. Longboats are on the field from Nathaniel though. He's in the cast stage, first player to the cast stage, and now going to help contest water on this side. He's going to work together with Dan MT to win the engagements here. Alfred gets a scout pick off here, probably HFE's initial scout here, Tiger, with 7 scouts but no upgrades, so they will be struggling against archers. As Alfred adds a barracks as well, Malian. Infantry have extra pierce armor, so adding infantry is a nice option here. Of course, he needs to add. Spearmen now to deal with the scouts. But there's also a very significant archer mass here, so this is a fight that Tiger is eventually going to lose. Even if he can pick off some of the landing builders, he now doesn't succeed in picking off everyone. More defensive towers from Kong forever. So he's keeping his eco safe on land, but at the cost of dropping towers means a stone investment. I don't even know where Kong has been taking stone, but he did. And we'll be fending off the archers to some extent here. Longboats on the field though, taking out fishing ships from Tiger. That's going to impair the Italians' eco quite a bit. Tiger with only 5 farms, so he might be struggling with production. Soon enough, he's even getting bloodlines for his cavalry now, so Norwegian bastards may be thinking about going for a landing on their own to even out the situation here. But it's going to be a significant amount of archers for Alfred here. He's adding some spears as well to deal with Tiger Scout. This is looking like standard land play here with a mix of scouts and archers and some skirms in Kong's case here. The best efforts to keep the armor numbers of Alfred down here, but Alfred is with 27 military overall. That's almost the same count as Tiger and Kong Forever's army combined. Kong Forever does have some persons on water though. Him and Tiger are going to... Honestly, I don't even know why Kong is going this way, because there's not really anything to hit in the back here. But he's probably going to group up with Tiger here and then take some fights together with HL on water. And Norwegian bastards do have the superior presence on water here, I think, totally, even though Nathaniel has a dangerous amount of ships. Tiger still committed to scouts, getting all the upgrades, only missing an attack upgrade now. I guess that's his best option as well, considering that he has had some decent food income on water from Italians, but he's losing that unless he's docked in the back, which he's doing right now. He's going to drop some more back docks, probably another one, just to make sure he has food income. Meanwhile, Kong Forever is going to the cast stage. Tiger, the pocket is stuck in fuel, but in exchange going for some raids here, going to pick off the last of Alfred's landing builders, and Alfred's score isn't looking too bright here either. So it's a real nasty mass of longboats for Nathaniel here. He's with 31 ships total. I think that's all longboats, so they should have no problem whatsoever contesting the horses of their opponents by now. Looking at the total counter is about 40 plus ships for Nathaniel, and it's mainly HAFE doing the work on water here for the Norwegian bastards. That's just not going to be enough, although HAFE tries to extend the eco-lad, now dropping Siege Workshop as well to deal with the archers at some point here, but it doesn't look too pretty for the Norwegian bastards at this point. They are behind in score overall. Their villager counts. Tiger is only at 30 villagers. He had more, of course, but he lost all of his fish, so fishing ships count as villagers. So the pockets here compare, it's Nathaniel with 43, Tiger now with 26 villagers and losing more, and real heavy feudal play for Alfred here. Probably not looking to click up either anytime soon. Decent amount of skirms here for Kong Forever though. It's 24 archers now against 12 skirms, but then with scouts on the other side to kind of potentially trap the archers here. There are some spears in front for Alfred, those that scouts are not free to engage here. Castle Age kicks in for Kong Forever and Tiger. Kong might actually have to take into Elite Skirm here, which he's doing, and then should finally be able to clean out the archers. But on the other hand, Nathaniel with his 45 villagers and 43 military here is just dominating on water, and there's not going to be any easy way back on water for the Norwegian bastards here. Yeah, now the fish is going to go down for Kong forever as well. That's going to impact his eco severely here. Kong actually doesn't have a single farm, so when his fishing ships go down, that effectively means no food income at all for Kong forever. He can just forget about creating villagers unless he uses the market to buy food to continue producing. So that's going to be very hurtful for Kong forever. Castle Age now on the way for Alfred, but I don't think he will be saving a lot of archers here. Nice attention on Tiger there, trying to gate out the archers, but Alfred with the attention awake enough to decide to realize the gate going up, and he snipes the gate before it can be killed. Will be trying to make the best of his army here now, keep being annoying until his army is lost on land here. Meanwhile, Nathaniel is dominating on water, and Alfred is preparing another landing. Could be maybe this section or in the back to deal some more damage, maybe even just to the south, going to try and hit the pocket maybe. Let's have a look and follow this transport ship. Archer range is still up for Alfred as well, so unless Kong is able to drop a castle or something over here, then Alfred still has the means to replenish his army on land. He's with 9 military at the moment. This is Kong. Let's look at Alfred here. Yeah, it's active with the military, can't really follow that. And I also lost track of the transport ship here. Where did it go? Yeah, here we go. As expected, it goes for the short landing here. Now going for some stable, and he's about to hit the next age. It's Malian, so he could go into, it's definitely going into mounted units, obviously, but he might be going for knights then against Kong's skirms. So I said the Norwegian bastards are holding on nicely. Tiger is about to lose his backlogs again, so he's not really going to get that Italian's fish boom going. Castle Age is in for Alfred. He has 0 military at the moment, but he is going to queue knights and get bloodlines. And I wonder if Kong sees this at all. Yeah, he sees one stable, so he should be able to handle this. They're almost within range of the DC here. Still going to be annoying though. It's +1 knights here and double stable production, triple stable production for Alfred. Actually, he has some fish food income as well, so the food eco is decent for Alfred. I think it's 10 to 2 food, 10 on gold. That should be enough to sustain 2 or 3 stables production here. And Norwegian bastards, considering that Nathaniel is dominating the water, there's not really any way back on water for the Norwegian bastards, means they can't really do a landing to even out the economies here either. Kong with a massive amount of elite skirms now, but that's not going to do anything as against the Malian Knights here. They could simply snipe. Siege Russia going up. I think Kong wants to get some ramps out to deal with the forward here. But then there's the ranges on the other side here as well. Could produce just a few archers here just to be really annoying on Kong's good line here. And now the Knights come in to not engage under the TCs here, obviously, because TC fire will hurt the Knights until they have +2, which they have now. But there's a siege workshop for Alfred as well. Second Mangonel coming out, and could mean that they could be taking out TCs on this side soon. Longboats in the back have taken out Tiger's docks yet again. Tiger does not have any dock right now. HJFE does not have a dock. Kong Forever does not have a dock. So no possibility whatsoever for the Norwegian bastards to regain position on water now. The longboats spread out from Nathaniel are making sure that that won't happen. These elite skirms will be cleaned up by now. And look at the military count. 51 military for Nathaniel now, and they've got mainly ships here. 50 ships, that's 50 longboats. You just don't easily fight back that on a map like Team Islands here. HFE is trying to force up a castle here now. It should probably go up only 2 war galleys here, so if this castle goes up, That limits longboat's aggression. Here comes quite a bit of reinforcements from Dan and T and Nathaniel here to, yeah, probably deny this castle. HAFE on the way to the Imperial Age, but so goes for Dan MT, the Japanese player, so it's going to be a race for the technologies here. Nathaniel also on the way to the Imperial Age, and overall villager counts, yeah, in favor of the Royal Flushers here. Kong forever desperately trying a defensive castle here now, but there is a mangonel here from Alfred to deny that from happening. Also some presence on water. Looks like the ships are able to reach the builders building here, so I think this is a castle that will be denied from Kong forever here, same as with, well, HFE's castle actually goes up, so the castle now protects the builders. Docks will be going up here, and HFE could be getting back on water. He's taking ballistics and galleon immediately. So he might be using that as an edge to get back into it, but then again he needs to produce army as well. That's going to take a while, and he's up against more than 50 longboats from Nathaniel and also some army presence from Dan MT here. But Norwegian batters fighting on here, scores not looking right overall though, quite a few deaths for the whole team here, negative KD for all three players. Kong forever might be able to force this castle up, but has taken some serious villager losses along the way now with 48 villagers. Just pure water domination from the Royal Flushers here. 63 military for Nathaniel now. That's exclusively on water, save for his initial scout. 64, yeah. And significant additions from Dan MT as well. What Nathaniel could do now actually is using his university to take into Cannon Galleon, and then he has a means with Army of Water to deal with HAFE's castle here. Vikings do get access to Cannon Galleon, so that could be an option. Kong forever does get this castle up, he's dropping some more ranges as well, wants to make sure that Alfred's forward on land is history, but there are still longboats on the shore here, preventing Kong from docking anywhere. Just look at these placements here from Nathaniel. One ship here, one ship there, making sure that I'm on patrol here. They're basically surrounding the whole island for the Norwegian bastards here now, and HJFE's docks will be going down here as well. They're staying within safe distance from the castle here and are still able to pick off docks as another defensive castle goes up for HJFE here. They are doing their best here, but I think the only way to even this out just a little bit is for the Norwegian bastards to be able to do a landing on the opposing team, and that's easier said than done when there are ships patrolling the shore everywhere. Alfred with the superior knights numbers here as well, same upgrades for both players. As the Viking docks are being taken out once more. There are ships virtually all over the place here, so there's not really going to... The Royal Flushers had complete control over the water and have had so for a long while. HJFE keeps dropping castles on the shoreline, but that's only going to delay the inevitable here, because you're sacrificing villagers to build them. You're trying your best to get back on water, but you could still use the range. It's 10 range for the elite longboat, and same for the galleons here, so a castle with 8+3 range, you could still sit comfortably outside of castle range and snipe the docks that are going up. HJFE makes yet another attempt here. Panic docks here near the castle. For the moment, no naval army on the spot for Dan MT and Nathaniel, but they are aware something is going on here. A couple of ships firing at the dock going up here. And while all of this is going on, the Norwegian bastards are left with the economy they can't really put to great use here. They're spending like crazy, of course, trying to fend off the land aggression, but significant army masses here. Still Kong is on crossbows now, so, and they're working 2v1 against Alfred here, so they might be able to fend off decently on land here. Mangonel Alfred Conqueror has finally dealt with the landing for Alfred on his side as well, so the landing might be cleaned up here, but I don't think it's going to be enough, because they will likely not be able to reclaim water here. docks are going up, but now there are cannon galleons on the field for Dan MT as well, targeting the castle here. Yep, that's cannonballs taking out one castle here, and the other ones soon to be addressed, I guess. But priorities here are taking out the docks. Of course, they are just never. Royal Flushers are not going to allow the Norwegian bastards to get back into the game here. Some elite longboats for HAFE here. It's actually it's elite longboat for Nathaniel as well, but this not nearly enough army here to deal with it. Tiger and Kong cleaning up nicely on land now. Then forward pressure of Alfred is more or less gone, so maybe, just maybe, they could sneak up a dock and get the landing on the opposing island, but even trade is in for the Royal Flushers here now, so they will have a potentially endless supply of gold working for them, so that's going to sustain them in the long run, and that's just not going to happen for the Norwegian bastards in the near future. GG indeed, the game goes to 43 minutes and shows some serious Team Islands play here from the Royal Flushers, who most certainly have some kind of efficient tactic plan for them for this kind of map. It seems risky to have only one player, or mainly one player dominating water, but Vikings are strong, and if you have another flank landing and making focusing on water difficult for the opposing flanks, then it could actually work out like it does here. Let's go to the stats. Yeah, Nathaniel MVP here was never. The Royal Flushers were never really hit on their home island at all. Of course, some raids along the shoreline, some naval army going down, and probably some villagers on the woodlands close to water as well, but not nearly enough. KD for Alfred is the highest one here. He did do some archer shenanigans on land and later on into knights and siege. But Nathaniel with the crazy KD of 91 to 19 here, that's all on water. He had more than 60 elite longboats in the end there, and largest army of 79. Gold collected, that's a little bit of trade income as well, should show... Where does it show? Trade profit. Okay, the trade actually didn't kick in for the players yet, but it was an ongoing process over here, so we probably see some trade cards here somewhere. Yeah, the trade had barely started, but it was in progress. That would only escalate their gold position even more. Uptimes as well, 1538 is a fast castle from Nathaniel, then getting the longboats out on the field and contesting water nicely there.